Good afternoon or evening, everybody. Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful Saturday here, and one more week until we get to Christmas break here. So it's getting a jolly, nice, joyful time as we are now finally at a Friday in December, very close to Christmas. So that's pretty lit here. But in this video, we're going to be talking about not the winter storm across the plains and Midwest, as that's really occurring starting right now. We're already seeing some snow showers across areas in the Midwest, but we're going to be talking about a potential major snowstorm for the southern United States, areas like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and even as well in the southwestern Rockies. So I'm not talking about the southeast. I'm really talking about the south, central, and the southern plains here. We're looking at a potential snowstorm that could potentially drop maybe over half a foot of snow for some big cities. Oklahoma City, areas as well in Amarillo, areas as well in Dodge City. You guys are now are under winter weather advisories, and in some areas winter storm watches. So we do already have watches and alerts issued for this snowstorm ahead. So yeah, without further ado, let's get in the video. So here's like now at the National Weather Service, and as you do see, we do have quite a few portions of the United States under some type of winter weather alert, all the way up into Maine. We still have some winter weather alerts here, and then you go across the country in California, we do actually have winter weather alerts. So this snowstorm is going to be actually starting in the northern Sierras and the northern Rockies. It's going to make its way down all the way up into Oklahoma, but it's going to be more severe actually when it comes to how widespread it is up into areas like Oklahoma, Kansas, and the South Central. But it will obviously bring way more snow for areas like the Sierras and the Yosemite region. Could get over 1 to 3 feet of snowfall. But we do have windstorm watches now for portions of the Rockies across the spine of Utah. And we also do have some windstorm watches there for far northwestern Oklahoma. Let's take a look at what we have there specifically here. So we do actually have areas like Oklahoma City under winter weather alert, Norman under as well some winter weather alert all the way down there, as well in Enid, Alva, Cage, Woodward, and Wanogo. We do actually have as well winter storm watches, but we will be seeing up to probably 6 to 7 inches of snowfall, really max here. But as we now go into areas kind of to the northwest, where we do actually have areas like the Texas Panhandle and the far western counties of Oklahoma, where we have winter weather advisories. We're getting up to 3 to 5 inches for areas like Boise City and Oklahoma, Guyman, as well in Beaver. You guys can get up to 3 to 5 inches. And then in the far northern cities in the northern counties of Texas, we have Stratford, Groover, and Perryton as well, getting up to anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. Areas like Amarillo can get to 2 to 4 inches. Dalhart, Dumas, Borger, Canadian, Pampa, and Wheeler, you guys as well in that range. And then anywhere from half an inch to 2 inches there as you go further south there as well. And then we do actually have those winter weather advisories as well set in place for areas in the Sierras and Rockies. Most of these Sierras there in California and Nevada, we do have those winter weather advisories in areas like as well Lake Tahoe, Carson City under a special weather statement, much of north central Nevada under some type of winter weather advisory, and then areas in the far western half as well of the far higher elevations in Denver or Colorado can as well some good snowfall totals anywhere from half a foot to near a foot. And we can't forget about the southwestern desert there in the Rockies. We do actually have areas kind of up to anywhere from 1 inch scattered to anywhere from 4 inches in the higher elevations in New Mexico, where we do have those winter weather advisories. And we do actually have those winter storm warnings as well due to actually some strong winds here. So will be quite some white conditions there. But without further ado, let's take a look at the radars. So here's looking now at the next 24 hours here, and as you do see there where that snowstorm will be right now, kind of making its way to the south, to the southeast. It's going to be making its way southeastward towards areas like outside the mountain regions like the Rockies and Sierras. But in the next 24 hours, it's still going to be set in place in those mountainous regions, such as far north central Nevada. Can bring us as well some snow showers there for Salt Lake City, and even all the way up into areas like Wyoming. We can see some snow showers here, but we're going to be seeing some very really strong winds and as well heavy snowfall for areas like Lake Tahoe and areas across the Yosemite region. And in the next 42 hours, this is where it becomes a lot more widespread now, already bringing snow for areas such as Denver, going to bring in very heavy snow for areas as well down to Colorado Springs. And then they start bringing that very heavy snow now There's like Albuquerque as well, north central New Mexico can anywhere get maybe just under half a foot of snow with some very strong winds, anywhere from 40 to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. We do actually have high wind warnings this year for those regions. Gonna start seeing that snow developing now in the next 42 hours as well into Kansas, such as Dodge City there, and even starting to see that snow developing there in those far western counties of the Oklahoma region there. Started arriving by by Sunday morning. And when I go later into Sunday, this is when the snowfall becomes a lot more widespread. Now going to bring in very heavy snowfall for areas like Oklahoma City, very heavy snow as well, getting to areas like Amarillo, and going to bring as well some severe weather areas to the east of the low pressure, such as Dallas. Areas going to be slightly above freezing there, but then it's going to really kind of fall apart as the temperatures. This low pressure kind of moves eastward. It'll go throughout warmer temperatures here, so could maybe see a slight mix there for areas as well, like the Norman region, or areas like as well near Miami, Oklahoma. You guys in the western half and Tulsa as well, you guys are going to really miss out on the storm here. If you're on the completely other side of the state, like eastern Oklahoma, you guys are going to get really just rain and mix. But if you go all the way on the western side, you guys will get really a nice wintry wonderland here. But as well, can't forget areas maybe near Joplin can get a little flurries before it actually converts into rain there by literally basically around overnight into Monday morning here. But let's take a look now. Zoomed in here into Oklahoma here as well, so we can actually see more detailed which counties get hit the hardest here. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if Oklahoma County, I don't know where Oklahoma City is, or I know where it is, but I don't know what county it is in. I believe it's in, I'm not exactly sure. I believe like Oklahoma City is like in this county right here. I'm not exactly sure, but the good thing is about zooming in is that you guys can see your own counties and where you live here. So that just gives me less a hassle to actually do here. But there you see in the next 42 hours, we're going to start seeing that snow developing now to really early tomorrow morning. Early Sunday morning. I don't know why I keep saying tomorrow. Early Sunday morning, we're starting to see those snow showers kind of developing there into areas of far western Oklahoma, the far northern half of Texas there, and even as well seeing this really heavy snow now starting to come down for areas like Dodge City, and as well areas for southeastern Colorado. It's a whole different story. 6 hours later, we're going to start seeing that mix developing across those areas where we have that freezing line where mix, that's going to start developing there by later in the day, by Sunday. For areas like Oklahoma City, that snow starts to move more southward into areas like Amarillo. So I'm going to see really heavy snow for areas like Dodge City. So Dodge City going to definitely get some really heavy snow showers. And then as we now go into Sunday late afternoon or mid-afternoon, it's going to be absolutely crazy for areas like Oklahoma City. Going to be seeing very snowy conditions midday on Sunday. Some snowy conditions continuing now into areas like Wichita. Not Wichita, areas like now getting south of Kansas City there near Topeka, getting maybe some slight snow fall totals, but really won't be too much. We're going to be seeing a widespread mix developing all the way in areas and the Oklahoma-Texas border, all the way across Tulsa into areas like Joplin, Missouri, there in far northern Arkansas. But then it really starts to really diminish quite quickly here before it actually arrives in areas like Tulsa. Tulsa may get a few hours of very heavy snow, but it really won't stick necessarily too much, but because really it's going to turn to really cold, chilly rain hours later. So it's going to accumulate in areas like eastern Texas or eastern Oklahoma. It's just with that rain coming in directly after, it won't be too fun here. So a lot of these areas are going to get some slushy snow. Only areas that really won't get the slushy rain, that slushy snow, is there's like far western Oklahoma and far northern Texas, where when it really diminishes, it's not going to be rain for those areas because they will still have that dry side of that low pressure behind, or the dry high pressure right next to it. So really it's going to be kind of avoiding that slushy rain to come help diminish that snowfall. So that's a good thing if you live in areas like far western Oklahoma, where we have those windstorm watches there as well, and to the alerts there into north central Texas as well. So here's looking now at the NAN 12 kilometer. This is the 12Z here, so it has not yet to really update necessarily too much. But the next 31 hours, there you see that snowfall starting to really come down here for areas like the far western Rockies and that kind of western half of areas like Colorado. And then by the next really 40 hours is really when things start to really change. So let's now go towards the south central United States. This is when things really become very interesting here. Gonna start seeing that very heavy snowfall for areas like western Kansas. Gonna start seeing that very heavy snow for the far northwestern half of Oklahoma. And then by the next 54 hours, it's going to be just a wintry mess. The thing with the NAM 12 kilometer, it actually has it diminishing into rain way later. This is by really Sunday night. They still have snow now, very heavy snow, continuing actually all of eastern Oklahoma basically. So they don't have it diminishing really until Arkansas, which is actually a reason why it could very well be unknown, because they don't have it diminishing whatsoever. They have it bringing snow into areas like Poplar Bluff in Missouri. They have it even bring some snow flurries for Little Rock. So really, they even have maybe some slight snow there as far as the as far as the Mississippi River, for areas like Kentucky and then meeting with the Ohio River. I mean, they really have it diminishing very, very late here. They don't have it diminishing until like Tennessee. So that's a big difference compared to European and with GFS. So that's exactly why NAM isn't too much the best model to really look at whatsoever when it comes to snowfall. Let's look now at the snowfall total, what the NAM 12 kilometer actually shows here. And there's a really big difference compared to what other models are showing here, for example, like GFS and European. Since they have it developing so much later, the snowfall totals are going to be actually like extreme. And I mean extreme, look at that. They have up to well over near a foot of snow for areas like far northwestern Arkansas. I think we all know that won't happen at all. I mean, there will be some slight, maybe a trace of snow in portions of northwestern Arkansas, but there won't be that much snow because it's going to fall apart in Oklahoma. It's not going to reach Arkansas being that large. Some scattered areas there in the Rockies for areas like southwestern Colorado, portions of north central New Mexico could reach over just around 8 to 10 inches there, and even some scattered areas there in southwestern Kansas and southeastern Colorado there we get maybe around 6 to 7 inches. Looking at a good 5 inches there near the Amarillo area, looking as well around good 3 to 5 inches for Oklahoma City, which is pretty good at this time. They have around 1 to 3 inches for Tulsa, but right when you get into areas into the northwestern half of Arkansas, it's really interesting here. And they have that snow like really going as far now as Kentucky with the trace, which we all know won't happen whatsoever. Here's looking now at the GFS here. This is the new, this is the new 18Z here. So this is very, very new here. This is actually, it's not even close to even fully reloading. So this is definitely the best time to actually have a video out, because this is when the GFS is just reloaded at the time frame we need. So let's take a look at what we have right now. In the next 36 hours, we're going to start seeing that very heavy snow pockets there developing into portions of southwestern Kansas. Some snow showers developing as well as far south as northwestern Oklahoma, but really it's going to kind of stay to the north right there, that low pressure there, and areas like Colorado and New Mexico really starting to gradually make its way up into the Oklahoma region. But 6 hours later, it's starting to really become a lot worse here. That snowfall is getting more intense here. We are starting to see some extreme snowfall rates for areas like Texas. Going to be seeing extreme snowfall rates as well. Some gusty winds here. Like I said, we do have high wind warnings for portions of north central New Mexico, so it will be quite windy for some of these regions there. There's that high pressure I was talking about a few minutes ago, and it's going to continue to bring some snow there for Dodge City. Going to bring some snow now up into areas like Oklahoma City later on. And let's take a look there right after 6 hours later. There it is, bring that snow for portions of Oklahoma City up into areas like Joplin. So maybe some slight snowfall accumulations there at the border with Oklahoma. And then as we go later on, there they have that snow really falling apart quite quickly here. And this is the GFS. Like I did say, they are not going to be shown what the NAM shows whatsoever. It's going to die in western Oklahoma in eastern Oklahoma, as temperatures will go back above freezing, and it'll all convert into rain here. So it's not going to be like getting bigger and bigger as it moves overnight. It's going to really diminish into really rain, very cold rain. Maybe some black ice is a small threat across Arkansas, but really that's really it at that point. Once it gets past Oklahoma City to the east of that, it's going to start really diminishing and falling apart. Last thing we'll be looking at before we look at snowfall accumulations is the NAM 3 kilometer. And this seems to be a bit more accurate, I guess you could say that, compared to the NAM 12. They actually do be reasonable. But they're still a NAM, and they still show it overlasting a lot. They actually have it doing the same thing at the NAM 12 kilometer, kind of. They actually have it being very strong snow entering into Arkansas, very heavy snow into Arkansas. So really, the NAM's the NAM, so that's just the NAM. They were meant for severe weather, so you can't really expect them to overdo really, or be accurate when it comes to actual snowstorms or even tropical weather. They're meant for severe weather, so that's why they're really good with severe weather. But it's always good to have a variety of models on your videos, so that's why I still show them. But looking at very heavy snow in the next 45 hours entering areas such as Oklahoma, we have some actually pockets of heavy snow across these regions here. So there could be some light snow showers in a few for some time, and then right after, it's just really heavy snow just coming down. It's gonna be really scattered. It's gonna be a lot of waves of heavy snow. And the next 51 hours, there you have that snow finally developing now into areas as far west as Oklahoma City, some snow there near Tulsa as well, and some very heavy snow now continuing out near Amarillo area, as well into areas, continuing now into Tulsa, continuing now into Arkansas. Like I did say, they do have it going very strong into Arkansas. Actually, that looks like whiteout conditions. That's how heavy that snow looks, and that's gonna really impact the snowfall totals here. That's gonna really play with the average snowfall we're looking at in the variety of the models. So really, it sucks to have these NAMs really overdoing things, but really it's going to die, like the European and GFS say. So finally, the GFS is kind of, I guess you could say I'm finally on the GFS's side. I guess you could say that, but really, is there a possibility? Does the NAM does? It's really, I guess it's not out of the picture, but it really is not. It's really not necessarily reasonable based on what we're looking at here. It's going to go through some really warmer temperatures, so there will be a cold front, but it's not going to be that widespread. So once it moves east, it's out of that cold front, and that's where we're going to be seeing above freezing temperatures, which is why the storm will fall apart. So here's like now at the European snowfall totals. Like I did say, we're going to be seeing some snow all the way from the upper Sierras down to areas up into Arkansas. So definitely going to be a very widespread storm here. There's not as much coverage for it because really it's not that intense when it comes to big cities like this snowstorm in the Midwest, bringing it to around a foot near Milwaukee. But look at this, we're gonna be seeing around a good 16.2 inches there in the in the Lake Tahoe region there, and all the way down to Yosemite, we can get around half a foot. They're gonna be seeing as well, around a foot of snow for the Sierras. Outside Portland, same thing as well. We're going to be seeing a good amount of snow outside Seattle in the Sierras. We're going to be seeing around 5 inches for portions of scattered areas outside the little foothills there into northeastern Oregon, north central Nevada, anywhere from 3 to 7 inches max. But areas like Carson City, 1 to 2 inches, really, that's really what it is going to be. Going to be seeing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches as well in the spine of Utah, where we actually had those winter storm watches issued. And then as we now go further east, so it will be very widespread now. It's going to be kind of a whole different story. It's going to be a lot more widespread. And these areas aren't really in the mountains unless you're talking about Colorado and Mexico. But Dodge City looking at a good 5 to 6 inches of snowfall. Let's actually zoom in now. Let's actually stop zooming out and let's try to zoom in here. Now that we're done talking about the Sierras and the Rockies, let's take a look now more towards Oklahoma, because that's really where we have the biggest cities at threat, at higher elevations. So not higher elevations, higher populations, such as Dodge City. And then obviously got Denver, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. Really not going to be a big storm whatsoever for Denver. That's really just some pocket snow for areas of those regions up there in Colorado. But a whole different story when it comes to the South Central here. This isn't too typical. I mean, we're going to be seeing anywhere from half a foot for Oklahoma City there. Looking as well up anywhere from 3 to 6 inches for Oklahoma City there, but south of the metro area could actually get more than that. So that's something to really keep in mind. 3 inches there for the Amarillo area, but anywhere from 4 to 5 inches from scattered areas. So we're gonna be some scattered areas of 4 inches, just because, like I did say, we are gonna be some scattered areas of heavy snowfall. That's where we're gonna be seeing those pockets at 4 to 5 inches when the surrounding areas are 3 inches. Dodge City, of course, and we were from 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. Southeastern Colorado, same totals there. As we now going down to the Tulsa area, 2 to 4 inches of snowfall, and then we're going to be some slight accumulation there in northwestern Arkansas. Obviously, that's still a good amount for areas like Arkansas at this time of year. 3 to 4 inches of snowfall in areas near Joplin, really 1 inch to 2 inches max there. But let's take a look now at the GFS, or sorry, not the GFS, the NAM. NAM is showing really, I guess it's kind of similar, but it's really as well not similar. It's kind of similar when it comes to the central Oklahoma region and Texas, but it's really a whole different story there for Arkansas here. But they are showing around anywhere from 3 to really 4 inches there for Dodge City, but some scattered areas just to the east, around really 9 inches of snowfall. They do have scattered areas there in Texas where we could get in Oklahoma, where they can get over 7 to 10 inches of snowfall. So I think the 10 inches is really out of the picture, but the 7 inches to 8 inches is reasonable, especially if temperatures will be colder than usual or colder than expected there. Amarillo looking anywhere from 3 to 5 inches here. Oklahoma City a reasonable 4 inches, so that's pretty reasonable. But it starts to get kind of non-reasonable or out of the picture once it goes into Arkansas, getting around 6 to 7 inches for those regions, and that's really, I don't think that's possible at all. And then here's looking at the newly refreshed GFS here, as you do see, they're getting a ton of snow across the Sierras there, all the way from the spine of Washington to the spine of the mountainous regions in far eastern California there at 230 inches in some of these areas there. And then it makes its way to the south, or it makes its way southeast. We're now into the Oklahoma region there. Not going to be seeing too much snow for Denver, Colorado Springs. Definitely not too interesting here. You guys definitely got more snow with that recent storm that's happening right now. This really is going to be just a little bit of a dusting or little tip, or I guess dessert to what you guys have on the ground right now. But let's now go to Oklahoma if it lets me. There we go. So Oklahoma, so of course there's not going to be extreme snowfall totals, but it's going to be definitely something interesting for this time of the year here. So I don't know why it's taking its sweet old time to actually load. I don't know why it's taking its sweet time here. Just take your sweet time, sweet time. Okay, well this is going very, very slow. Alright, so I finally got the GFS to load, but I had to go all the way to Travel Tips for it actually to load here. So this is what they're showing here. So let me actually move a little bit more. There we go. This is what we have right now. So they're kind of a little bit on the lower side here, but they're still definitely pretty reasonable. They're getting anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4 inches max from the metro area of Oklahoma City. But then you see those higher snowfall totals more to the west, or where that low pressure is more intense there. And we still have some mountainous regions here, some hilly regions there, anywhere from probably 3 to 5 inches for Dodge City, but more into the kind of northern half of Texas there, 5 to 7 inches. That's definitely something not getting out of the picture there. 1 to 3 inches there for areas like Colorado Springs, and then some scattered regions there up in the Rockies that we can get over a foot of snow. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.